Feel about this new move. As you guys can see, we're in a different setup now, and it's kind of weird because I feel like I'm talking to the people who are literally behind me. It's kind of weird.
There you go.
I mean, you are.
Look at me. Lock in
Lock
right
in
here.
over here, right?
So-
on
I can
this
see
one
the
here.
I can see the back of your head, bro. You need to get a fade, bro.
Personally, I feel like I'm at home.
Fades are out, bro.
It feels
Fades are
great.
ghetto now. They're out.
I'm at home. It feels great. I'm excited. We're out of the beautiful spring Texas now, and it's a market that we've been in for a long time. I'm excited to be here. I think it feels great. It's close to everyone's home on this side, and I think we've all traveled to downtown. We live up here, so now I think for us it's fun. Now we get to experience what you experienced, Jovani, where you're a short 5-minute drive, walk from your house.
Bro, I experienced that for like 3 months from Baytown. Like, it's always been an hour drive for me.
I feel like I'm on the other side of the road.
Yeah,
Literally.
I'm gonna buy a scooter and
Scooter home.
you should. I'll give you mine whenever when I move out in January.
Oh man,
Because I can't scoot over there in Baytown. They'll run you over there for sure.
that is funny. I will hold it in storage for you.
There's a lot of drunk driving in Baytown.
That's what I'm saying. You can't ride a scooter over there. Yeah.
Well, it's been a good. It was an abrupt move. I wasn't ready for it. I admit that. When we got to downtown, I didn't like it. I specifically didn't like just the parking. I didn't want to move down there. I felt like downtown was, a little different. Really quickly fell in love with the idea of being in downtown and commuting there, and gave us a different level of just, I wouldn't even say status, sophistication, nothing like that. It just gave us downtown is a true, you're working, you're surrounded by hardworking people. You're surrounded by people that are out there just making it happen every day. You want to talk about the hustle and bustle of the city and everyone making a move. I mean, how many times did we run into somebody in the corner that was doing something, big, or a person of importance, and you just never know who you're standing next to? Very different feeling, very different atmosphere than being in any other part of town where, maybe sometimes you'll hang out in the Heights, or you'll hang out in Washington, or you'll hang out in, River Oaks, or you'll hang out in Edo, right? Every part of the city has its own vibe. I will say that downtown was our vibe.
And I mean, that's something that I think a lot of people don't really take into account whenever they talk about Houston. Whenever you say downtown, they really talk about the inner loop. But we were literally in what is called the business district. Mm-hmm. Literally in the business district where some of the biggest banks are there. The Chase building is down the street. Everybody that you're walking past is usually in a suit. A lot of people are, moving quick. Whenever you go out to the bars there, they're getting right off of work and they're waiting out so they can beat the traffic, right? Or wait the traffic out. So it's definitely a different environment. I mean, even Nate sent us a chat earlier today. There's like this view or like a warehouse, for a future office. And I was like, in my mind, well, I've always liked to be in the city and surrounded by it, especially when you're working, because it breeds that like work culture, that work atmosphere. And versus like working, like building out a warehouse, it's more creative space. And in real estate, whenever you are working, like it's money time, and it's very easy to get that confused with creation time. And I think a lot of realtors confuse that as well, especially in this business.
So I'm thinking that what Jovani is saying is that he would rather have a high-rise building than a warehouse. Is that what you're saying?
Same.
Oh yeah, I said that in our chat. I said any day of the week.
Yeah,
any day of the week. Yeah.
You said same.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I
For
know
work-wise.
Vick just mentioned that having an office like downtown, I guess doesn't affect like your status, but I honestly think it does. I feel like whenever every single agent from the company went to downtown, to office, to whenever we had like meetings right there, I feel like everybody kind of felt like important. Like, it's not like, every single brokerage in Houston has an office downtown.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a question to you, Vic, because I feel like this, but let me ask you what you feel about it. Do you think that we have not been able to hire a lot of real estate agents have actually declined your offer just because we were in downtown?
No.
No?
Yeah. So no. In short, I don't offer a lot of real estate agents, so I don't get declined. When I make the effort and I want an agent, I'm able to paint a picture for them on what they're going to accomplish here. And most of the time they're willing to buy in. They're sold before I even ask. Now I will say that it did intimidate certain agents because I think that they realized that we weren't joking. We weren't playing. This isn't fun time.
Yeah.
And then the way that we talk and on our expectation that we want from our agents is that it's I'm not giving you leads, but I'm going to show you how to get leads. Nothing's going to be handed to you, but we will teach you to work.
So I think that so I actually got to interview real estate agents, while we were there because we were there for so long. So at the beginning, I remember I used to interview agents, and that was a big deterrent, right? They were like, oh, I hate driving in downtown, and I hate being around this, that, and the other, right? And so I honestly, after a few years, when we started curating agents, right? Because I feel like we look for talent. I started feeling that it was more of a protection, because there is a lot of agents that didn't. I feel like there's agents that didn't join us because at that time because we had an office downtown and they were worried about parking, they were worried about driving on a one way. They were worried about doing all these things.
I could be wrong, but I think those were a lot of agents that were already with us, maybe on their way out.
No, we at the beginning we had agents that didn't want to go down. I mean, we still have some agents that don't want to go down there. But the thing is that I feel like I thought that downtown would be great because it was central, right? Mm-hmm. And essentially that's one of the reasons, right? Because we would get people that when we had our office in the Woodlands, people were like, "Oh, the Woodlands is so far," and it was like, okay, well then. Let me move somewhere central to where I won't be far from anybody. Everybody will have the same drive. And so I think that, and just like Flor said, we're actually in downtown. And a lot of people don't understand that inside of downtown is different from being in
the loop.
And you know what? It's even different from being in Edo, different from being in even Midtown. Midtown is very inexpensive, and we had a lot of opportunities to go there, and we were just like, oh no, I'm good, because it would attract that real estate agent that we just weren't interested in,
Yeah.
And that I'm sorry that I interrupted. That's what I was trying to say, that, if you're interviewing somebody and if they're going to the office downtown and if from the get-go they're complaining about parking, I mean, that's just going to tell you a lot about what type of agent they are. Yeah. I mean, I'll use that then as a hiring technique. I mean, you're going to be complaining about coming downtown to work. Are you really even going to work?
And that's to my point, Nate, is that I don't feel like we ever, missed out on agents. If you were already complaining about hire, that was an agent, or about parking or the drive, that was already an agent that I wasn't expecting, or they would be, a fit here. Just because in real estate, you're doing a lot of things that are uncomfortable and you're navigating roads that you're unfamiliar with. And there's a lot of uncertainty in a lot of aspects of the business. And you have to have the confidence. And sometimes you just have to throw yourself at it. And every time I hear somebody talk about downtown, they talk about the same things. It's difficult. I get anxiety, or I don't know how the roads work, or I don't know where to park, or I don't know how to read signs. And it's just like common sense, basic critical thinking, basic information they're already not grasping. That's somebody that I'm going to struggle with beyond.
Or at the bare minimum, just ask, right? I mean, like, we're there. Call us. Hey, where do I park? Can you come and show me where I should park, where I shouldn't park? And I mean, like, one of the things that I've noticed, even with hosting my weekly meetings in downtown, because I do them in my downtown office, right, is that the agents that no matter what, and again, the whole thing, downtown's too far, is BS. It's 30 minutes, right? Driving from one side of Baytown to the other, it takes me 25 minutes, right? So it doesn't matter. And Texas is so big that little towns in Texas are like 30 minutes apart from like beginning to the exit, right? So driving to downtown, a 25-minute drive is not that long of a drive. I get it that you're bored because it's all freeway, but saying the distance is too far, that's BS. One thing that I've noticed, though, is the people who do show up to our meetings, even though they're late during the week, those are the ones who are actually working. They're putting the work in. And then once I get that objection out of them, and I say, you got to show up, just come here, then I start to notice that once they are showing up every single week, even though they hate driving down there or whatever it may be, they start producing too. So it's like, having to do the difficult thing is it goes into every single aspect of your life. Because of course, everybody would love to have an office 5 minutes from their house, right? But then everything becomes too like just a routine. You need to break out of that routine, go to an office somewhere else, get into that group environment for that team meeting, have those hard, just difficult conversations. Then you go back to your regular times. Oh, I feel like I can conquer anything. You know, if I can park in downtown, I can go sell a house in Baytown, right? That's the way most people see it. So I've started to notice that myself too.
Yeah, no, I will admit, Nate. I mean, I didn't like downtown, and when we first moved down there, I had a lot of different reasons why I didn't want to be in downtown. The way that I'm hoping to build the brokerage here and the way that we're hoping to grow is that we do want to focus on that STP frameworks where we are, breaking down the market into manageable, areas. And the goal is always to have an office in a significant market, right? And this is not belittling any other market, just other than, main ones, Katy, Spring, South Houston, East Baytown, Pasadena area, like those significant markets, and go beyond that. And I really wanted to make that pitch. Nate, I would say, convinced me to get into that downtown atmosphere, and really quickly became stuck up. We had an opportunity to go into a building that was a lot more casual and a lot more calm. A lot more, just casual, right? It was I don't know if you remember, we were touring a building and the guy was running around with, in his socks, and they were doing cornhole in the middle of the thing, and it was like it was like a frat boy area or office, and I was like, nope. I was like, that's what I said. I immediately got stuck up because I was like, no, if I'm in downtown, I want to be, I want to dress nice. I want it to look good. I want it to be better. I don't want this. And we found our office, and it was really great for us and what we needed it to be. And shortly fell in love with the idea. So brings up my, not even my next topic, but a question that I did want to ask. We get lost in creative in real estate, is what Jovani brought up. That realtors seem to think that when you're doing the creative side, you're doing the real estate work. Mm-hmm. And I think right now, while we're talking about offices and things, also putting such a huge focus on the creative side versus the office side could be something that we're not considering, because I don't think we've asked the realtors, because or did you ask the realtors?
I didn't ask the realtors. I really don't care.
Yeah, I said you're going where I'm going.
Instead of the realtors, if the realtors knew what was best for them, I wouldn't be their broker. Yeah. So the thing is this. That's
a good one. That was a good one.
I'm just playing. No. The thing is this. I'm kind of conflicted, right? And I think I've stated this before, right? That the reason that I'm still relevant, 20 years later, right, is because I've always been open to other people's ideas. I've been open to younger people's. I ask questions. I do ask my realtors questions. Not for decision making, just to get an idea of what's going on in the market, what's new, what's happening. Yeah, and so the thing is that I'm an 80s baby, right? So I grew up in the 80s. To me, success is or business, right, is Wall Street. Business to me, the movie Wall Street, sorry. The movie Wall Street, to me, success is suspenders, suit, pinstripe shirts, tie, power tie, slicked hair, loafers. That's success to me. That's what I saw. And of course, if you look at any of these business movies, any of these business, power brokers, power realtors, it always happens in buildings with views. It always happens on the 50th floor. And you had an office with a view of downtown, of just different scenes, and so that's always been my thing, when it comes to having an office. I think that's what I'm I guess influenced by, for lack of a better words. But then again, I try to sit back and try to see, hey, well, hold on, that works for me. That's what I like. But all my realtors that I hire, right, a lot of them have problems wearing suits. A lot of them have problems combing their hair. you know, and so it's just like, you know,
That was just one guy.
Those are the realtors he hires.
Those are the realtors that you hired.
No, I did not. So, you know, you have to be open to everything, you know. You have to be open to different personalities, different styles, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, to me, I would love it. And you know, it's funny because, you know, I actually watched a movie. It was an old Colombian movie, right? And this guy had a high rise. He lived in the penthouse of this high rise, and his office was, I think, in you know, underneath his penthouse. And he had a telescope, and he would look through the telescope to his apartments, just to keep an eye on his investments. And so I remember whenever I wanted to get into real estate. I remember speaking to my wife. And, you know, to my wife, hey, I want to be a realtor, and I want to get an office in the Transco Tower, which I don't know what the Transco Tower is called now. It's changed its name. The one right next to the Galleria. Because at that time, I don't know, probably still is, it was one of the tallest buildings in Houston, right? And I said, I want to get an office in the Transco Tower, and I want to be able to see all my investments from up there that I invest in, you know, see my rentals, you know? And so, you know, like I said, this is more, I want to make sure that I'm not making decisions, you know, with the new office, right? Because we have an office. We haven't signed contracts or anything like that, but you know, we pretty much have it in the bag if we want it, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing is,
we have a right of first refusal.
Yeah,
so it's ours.
Yeah, I mean, we negotiated ASAP because we don't want to be stuck out, right? But I want to make sure that I'm not making any decisions based on, you know, my own personal feelings, you know, and I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision for the next, at least the next 5 years, you know, which just there's a big change happening.
Yeah, but to go back to what Vick's question was, right? Like, are we focused? You're probably just talking about internally, but I'm talking more about just in general as this business, right? Are we focused more on creative versus the business side of it? And I think 100% yes. And that is a major issue. And something that I posted the other day on X was that you need to post your work, and your work doesn't need to be your post. So pretty much social media shouldn't be your work, right? It's not your job.
I like that.
You know, it's not your job. What you do in your job is what should get posted. And I don't know if you guys been paying attention, you people watching or whatever it may be, but everything is coming back to not so highly edited, not so many different transitions, but coming back to the value. And why is it coming back to the value? Because people want to see who actually knows stuff. It doesn't matter if they're recording on a 4K camera with fancy lighting, none of that, right?
Pre-scripted.
It could be done on the phone. It could be done on a freaking phone from like 5 years ago. Nobody cares, right, about the quality. So I've seen some crappy quality videos, but the value of what the person was saying, what they were doing, got that video so many likes. I mean, no captions, no freaking hashtags or whatever it may be. And these videos are getting pushed out to the major public because people right now, they're hungry for value because there's so much content for you to consume, but there's no value. So whoever's out there putting value, and that's just anything in real estate, right? Like I always tell my realtors, especially the newer ones, I hate it whenever they post a picture and they say, oh, I'm a real estate agent. Come and call me for your buying, selling, and needs. Like, bro, everybody posts that. Like, why even bother posting that? Yeah. Post something about you. Hey, you know, I just got my real estate license. I'm out here in the area checking out this house. It's pretty cool. Give what you think about that house, the value that you can give to your clients, right? What your insights that you learned about that house. Don't just post it, hey, you know, I'm in the market now. Okay, yeah. Well, everybody else is too. Oh. You know, what do you provide that's different?
That goes along with the conversation I was having with Flor earlier today that I said, you know, everything seems so hard and so overwhelming when you're not practicing it every day. But it goes the same with media. When we are dealing with media every day, you're able to identify trends and you're able to identify what the people want very quickly. Very similar to in your market where you're doing your market research, you see your price per square foot and you know if something's a good deal or not. You generally see if prices are trending up or trending down. With media is the same thing. We talked about this a couple, years ago, months ago, where we're like, hey, maybe we should stop with this curated content and really just poop on the house. Like, honestly, if the house is just terrible, right? Terrible paint job, terrible, whatever, let's just do it, And then shortly after, you start seeing a lot of realtors jumping into, the landlord special and making fun of landlords. And then you start, people talking about, which is a little vulgar for my taste, but the guys, and it's funny because I cuss all the time, but these guys cussing on the video talking about, big old house or, saying inappropriate things or even the Spanish ones or, going on the houses. But the thing is, if you're out there targeting your specific people, then you're gonna find your people and you're gonna find sales. And I feel like the people, when you're blanket, we talk about it. I've talked about it over and over and over. When you're blanket statements into a crowd, no one's gonna turn around. But when you point someone out, you know, and last time I said, when you call the guy in the red hat, hey, you in the red hat, if there's 15 guys wearing the red hat, they're gonna turn around. You know?
I feel like those videos, and this is like also from personal experience, where like you show the house, and you not only show the house, most importantly, you show like a little bit of your real personality of who you are, really impacts more like on who the people that is going to be watching you, you know, is actually going to like follow up with you and, you know, keep on like seeing the same content. I feel like it's a way for you to kind of like connect through the camera, the screen or whatever on the other side. And when the people can actually see a little bit of, oh, you know, like, you know, she's a mom or she actually does this and she's just not does it for the gram. It's whenever you start to having that like true following.
Yeah, and then it's to completely remove it away from the social media side of it, right? Because I feel like we always end up talking about that. But this applies to every single thing. You can send out a flyer. Hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Like, I mean, nobody cares about that. I mean, how many more flyers do they get? But if you get down to their pain point, which is what we talk about in our STP frameworks, right? Then you're speaking to that person specifically. And then you follow up with a bunch of other pieces of content, right? These are I forget how you call it in the actual paper format, right? But you hit them up with that, or even the conversation that you have with somebody. You have to understand who you're talking to. You just can't go up to somebody, hey, I sell houses. Okay, bro, like I don't know you.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
I just
yeah,
bought mine.
Yeah. like what does it matter, right? So this applies to everything. It's not just about content. I mean, look, not to bring politics into it, but they're calling this last election the election of the podcast world. Why? Because they were able to get these two candidates down and sit down and talk for 3 hours. And so that people got to know who they were. They weren't little 10, 15-second clips, right? So people want to understand who they're talking to and making sure that you understand who they are. Yeah. Right. So it all goes hand in hand. It's not just social media. It's letter writing. It's door knocking. Just going out there networking in general. Yeah. People want to know the value that you provide. So that means you need to be informed on your market. You need to be informed on what's going on in general, and then just actually doing the work.
And that's what's wrong with a lot of people right now is that they're not going out there and putting out who they are. They're out there putting on this persona and they're putting on this front, and they're not able to capture or cultivate the people that they would typically get along with, or the people they would actually have things in common with, you know. And it's important to show your true self. It's important to genuinely want to help, and it's important to genuinely want to make an impact, regardless of what you're doing. And if you're not looking to do those things, you know, then, you know, this might not be for you. And I'm not talking about real estate; just sales in general might not be for you. Exactly.
Or they're trying to be somebody that they're inspired by, and they want to be that person exactly. Well, that doesn't work because you're not that person. And they took different steps. They came up in this business at a different time than you did, and it just doesn't work like that.
That's interesting.
You just posted it.
Yeah, I just said that. You know, it's just. You know, thank you for
I mute Nate's stories, so I don't want it to influence me.
He mutes my story. He's the first one that looks at it, first one to respond.
Because you send them
first
to me.
First one to make fun of stuff.
Because you tag us in them, bro.
Nate just posted a story about if you get the recipe. I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same.
You're not gonna make the same thing. And you know what's funny is it's pretty interesting. You know that I was also posted about that coach. You know. That was selling.
Oh, I did. That was
selling stuff, you know, and it's like, you know, the guy's asking you, what's a mastermind? What's this? What's that? And you're still trying to hit this guy for 20 grand, and it's like, bro, like some people were just not meant for that.
What's a bro tap?
Look,
what's a bro tap?
Don't you gotta like dab him up, bro.
Yeah, dab him up, bro.
Don't crap so much on Andy Elliott, bro. He's the reason why me and Vick are trying to get in shape right now.
Nah.
We want to have our sales meetings like that. Take your shirt off. You're fat. Are you happy being fat?
Get out of my office. Hey, he's over there talking about,
I lost 2 pounds in 2 years and now I'm fat shame. What's up?
Right?
Like, dang, that's what you're eating today? Hey, you saw the look on my face when y'all walked in with pizza. I was like, gross.
No,
I felt the judgment whenever I was eating the pizza.
that's terrible. That's terrible. So the thing is that I mean, there's some people that I see on you know, on social media, right? Or, you know, real estate agents, and some I like some of them. I like they me caen bien. I really like these guys, you know. But I see them out there just doing the same thing over and over and over, and it's like, all right, bro, all right. There's 10 guys, right, walking a multifamily property, right? Okay. Explain to me what you're doing. What's going on? Are you buying it? Are you selling it? Or do you have an investor that's investing in it? Like, what's going on here? What a...
Oh my God.
¿Qué asustas?
That scared me. Yeah, what the heck's going on?
Hey, ¿a qué
I was
asustas?
like, hey, I was like, the person,
They heard me, bro. They're throwing shots over here. No. But it's like, what's going on? Like, why am I? What am I looking at? Why am I looking at this? You know, and it's like, change up. You know, stop trying to be somebody you're not.
Let me play
Be
devil.
yourself.
Let
You
me
know what?
play
I
devil's-
ask myself those same questions
Hold on, but
whenever
let me play
I see
devil's
girls in
advocate on this
bikinis.
because we've been a party to some you know, pretty big deals.
Yes.
And we've been, you know, 10 people deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I think the craziest one was one of your deals that I didn't even help you. I was just there with you. It was we had to hire a whole freaking inspection company.
Yes.
Remember, it was like 10, 15 inspectors.
Yes.
We had like less than an hour to inspect, I don't know how many units.
Yes.
And it was intense, you know? Obviously, we weren't pushing media at that time. Obviously, we weren't doing those things, but there's NDAs, there's non-competes, there's things that you can't really disclose. So, you know, I mean, how do you like navigate that? Or how would you recommend that?
Okay, so the thing is this. The thing is, and I guess maybe you're not getting my point, right? How long ago did we do this?
I'd say less than 10 years ago.
How long?
Less than 10 years ago.
Let's just say
10 years.
Okay, let's say 10 years, all right? 10 years ago is whenever I was doing this. Okay? So now, right? And I'm not bragging, but I drive luxury cars. I travel. I'm you know, I have multiple offices, multiple agents. I mean, in other words, you can see that I've benefited of all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a person doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, right? For many years, and is still spinning his wheels and doing the same thing, right? It's like, at what point do you graduate to doing something different? Where do you graduate to being successful, in other words? You know what I'm saying? And so, and I'm going to give you an example. There's a guy that has a team of 15, right? And he's still out there at a freaking closing, right? And I'm not talking about a young kid. I'm talking about an older man. He's out there at a title company in a closing saying, hey, I helped this family, you know, essentially doing what these young kids are doing, you know, on the South Side.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so, and it just goes back to that whole thing, what I told you. I remember you asked me years ago, you were like, you know, I told you, man, you know why I got out the car business? I said, because the car business scared me. I hit a cap and I can no longer go any higher, right? Without being an owner or without being, you know, a GM or without being any of that, because, you know, it just, I was going to be stuck in the same, you know, rut. And I remember that there used to be salespeople there that, you know, 50-year-old, 60-year-old sales guys just, you know, walking around, going through the motions, selling cars here and there, drinking on their off time, you know. And I said, man, these guys scare me. They have no ambition, no homes, no cars, bad credit, and they're just going through the motions, right? And I said, and that's why I left the car business. I didn't want to get caught up in that, you know, to where I just became irrelevant and just became, you know, a victim of the career, you know. And so I go over here, you know, now I'm in real estate, right? My real estate, every year I make more money than the last, and I expand into new markets every year, nonstop, like clockwork. And that's what my goal is, right? And so you see people that have been doing it the same amount of time as you, right? Some of them, right? And some of them had exit the business. Or you see them doing things that kids are doing. And you're like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, why are you doing this? You know, like, I don't ask them, right? But I'm just thinking in my mind, you know, Why are you still doing this? And you've said it yourself, you know. Remember when we were trying to get out of real estate, right? You were like, bro, there's no cap, you know, there's no more future here. And I was like, no, there's future. And then we started seeing the future, and we started seeing the vision, right? But you know, it just goes to that where it's like, hey, stop freaking doing the same thing over and over. Stop videotaping things or videotaping. I just showed my age. Stop videoing yourself doing things that you're not doing. You're not doing these things. You see, we were out there looking at apartments. We were closing apartments.
Yeah.
We're out there looking at apartments to purchase. We did purchase an apartment. We're out there freaking getting foreclosed properties and selling portfolios. We did sell them. And like you said, some of them were NDA, right? You know, we couldn't disclose what was going on. We couldn't even talk about it, you know? But we were doing it, and there's proof, or you know, we have things that show what we have done. Not just that. Forget about the material, right? Forget about what we have materially. Forget about what we have anything. Just the knowledge that we have, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, you can.
I will say there's a popular meme going around right now, and they say, oh man, you know, back, you know, but I wish in 2008, you know, I was doing this, you know, not in school and buying houses, or I wish in 2008 I wasn't doing this. So I guess it finally got to like an age group. I feel like it started with younger kids, because they were like, oh, I wish I wasn't I shouldn't have been in kindergarten. I should have been buying houses in 2008. and now I'm seeing some videos of it with my favorite game, Halo. And it's like, oh, I shouldn't have been playing Halo. I should have been buying houses. And, you know, my gamer friends are sending that to me. And I was like, nah, I was buying houses. No, I played with y'all, but I was working. We worked.
I was playing with you, but I was buying houses.
But we were working. We were doing our job. You know, just wish more people would have listened to us back then.
Sometimes, you know, I've met real estate agents, right? And they're like, hey, I remember that one real estate agent, you know what I'm talking about. I want to throw his name out there, but I said, man, I really like this guy. This guy has a lot of potential. I think he can be a good fit, right?
Yeah.
And I remember that I introduced you to him. You talked to him and everything, and then he called one of our real estate agents that pretty much was like, hey, how do you like working for them guys? It was, oh man, they're good. They go, oh man, I don't know, man. I can't work for a broker who has no closings. And then, you know, it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm not selling homes here. I said, I'm in a whole different ball game here. I said, I'm not out there listing. I said, I'm not competing with you, you know? And I just remember thinking like, you know, this guy, you know, he's jumped around to several brokers, right? And it's always a broker that's like really heavy presence in social media, right? And so I think about that and I'm like, man, imagine if social media was a thing when I started my career. I said, we would have so much awesome content, or we would be in jail. I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not sure.
Just you know, on the property management side, you know, we did some things.
All right, guys. Well, this was a great podcast. You're going to enjoy the studio as much as we are, because we're going to be here for a few months.
We're still tweaking.
Yeah, we're still fixing things. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks great. The conversation flowed well. But yeah, you can catch us live not live, but you know, you'll post us every single Thursday here at the HBR Podcast, Houston Business and Real Estate with Lionsgate Realty. I'm Jovani, your gracious host. I'm gonna go ahead and exit and let everybody else exit.
Cool. I jump in. So I am Victorino Cortez. I'm the president of Lionsgate Realty. If you are tired of your broker being all up in the videos and you want to be the one, I didn't get to finish my thought because Jovani's rushing me, but my thought is, Nate is correct. We're looking to build a brokerage here. We're not looking to build a glorified team where we are the leaders and just benefiting off of the agents. In turn, everything we do here is for you, the agents, and for you to be successful and for you to grow. And we literally stay up late at night trying to tweak our processes and make sure that we provide you with the tools necessary for you to be successful. Just last night, stayed up till 3, 4 in the morning because I got into one of my creative spills and I redid all of my marketing templates and I'm ready to launch with my agents. We are constantly hungry. We are excited and we want to grow. And I want you guys on our team if you have that same passion for this business. So that being said, we are hiring. Victorino Cortez here with Lionsgate Realty. Let Nate and Flor.
Let them know where they can find you.
can find me at Real Presidente on Instagram, or you can just email me at vick@lionsgaterealty.com.
And this is Flor Velasquez, or President. Vick is absolutely right. We're going to take care of you. We're going to help you. So you can find me on all my social medias, Flor Velasquez Realtor.
And once again, Vic is not joking about that. If you have a broker or a team leader that they're more geared towards social media. We are geared here towards social media, but above all, we know that the career we have chosen is real estate, and I think that Vic is a perfect example of how to be able to juggle real estate and social media. Because I mean, the company is essentially a media company, and it's been a marketing company before it was a real estate company, and a lot of people don't understand that. But yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me in all my social media outlets at Better Call Nate. And once again, we're here temporarily, and we're looking for a new office, or we're going to have a new office in the next 2 months.
There we go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jovani.